So the easier way is to take advantage of free resources that other people have made for us. On the website Ajar Productions, they have produced a number of widgets to help make things more efficient working in Flash and some other Adobe tools. So if I go to Products, and I will notice that there's a section called Free Flash Extensions. So I'm going to select that, and it will come up with this page where I have a variety of Flash extensions. Now some of these extensions features have been incorporated into Flash itself, because if you notice, a number of them started at Flash MX 2004. Some are newer, but some are from MX 2004. So they're from 2004, 7 years old. Ages and ages in computer time. But what I am going to want to use here is FrameSync, if I can find it right here. And I am going to then, so I could go under View and get more information on it, but I already know what it does and I like it. I'm going to save it. Now it's saving it as an MXP Macromedia extension file, and I can use Extension Manager to install it so that Flash is able to use it. So I will hit Save File, and it will be on my desktop now. And when you download extensions, you can double click on them. It launches Extension Manager, and it will import the extensions. It will come up and ask me to agree to end user license agreement momentarily. And I say accept, and it says it's been installed, so I must restart Flash for it to take effect. So I'll hit OK. So at that point, I am going to quit Flash and restart it. I can close out of Extension Manager. And then I will have the features of it. Now it shows up as a panel. In the same way you have your color panel and your properties panel, and you have all of your other different panels within the tool. So let me go, here's the file that we were working on, the frame-by-frame demo. So we'll start with the sound. That's where we'll be resuming our syncing. So if I go under other panels, I will now see FrameSync is installed in my other panels. So Window, Other Panels, FrameSync. Now it comes up with this nice little dialog here, and I can make it bigger because I know I'm going to need that. Now if I click on the mouth and say auto convert to keyframe, auto refresh, what you will see is the frame labels that I showed you I put on that movie clip are now all showing up here. So instead of having to remember, oh, which number frame am I trying to go to, I now have frame labels at my disposal. So I can see my basic closed mouth shape is in frame 1. Then my MBPs are in 2. O's, FE, A, the oo sound, L's, E's, my consonants, and my W sounds. So I now, because of the magic of frame labels, have access to that. And to prove it, I can even go into the symbol. I'll go into this final one and change the name of this, W and Q. Now if I go back and click on it, we'll see that it does indeed update that, and it says W and Q in that panel. And now what's going to be really fun here, and this is where I can take advantage of, it's going to auto-convert things to keyframes for me. At this point, what I won't want to do is do as much scrubbing of the timeline, because then I have to keep clicking back on the mouth. So I'm going to want to move through the timeline using the comma and period key, or less than and greater than arrows, which allow me to go back or forward one frame at a time. That's really useful because then it doesn't take the focus away from whatever object is currently selected. Because if I click on the mouth and then click and drag the playback head, the mouth has now lost focus. The mouth isn't selected anymore. So then I have to re-click on that. I'm all about efficiency. Anytime I have to do more clicks, that slows you down. that takes more time. And then eventually by the end of the day you might get grumpy. So to start out,
why must every...
So I'm looking for my sound right here. Click on the mouth. See the frames? Is the same as my A. So all I have to do is click, and you will notice it inserted a keyframe right there in my timeline for me. Now when I get to my V, I'm going to go to an F and V sound. So if I hit the period key, it advances a frame. So EV, I'm going to leave that S sound on for 2 frames, and then I will hit the FV, and you can see it automatically now just put in, oh, I think I might have missed and hit the wrong keyframe. I did. So let me change that. There we go. I hit the wrong key. I missed by 1. Ever. So now at this point, I want to change it to the R sound. Ever. E. So now I want my E sound, so I'll grab my E, click on the E, I think that's 1 right there.
Everybody E.
Oh, everybody. I must every ba. Every ba. So right about here, time to get down to my B's. B, ba. And buddy is kind of the A sound, the shorter A. Buddy. Lift that up for a few frames, and now close the mouth. So now I can scrub back, hit return to play.
Why must everybody eat?
So as you can see, being able to see what you're doing here instead of guessing by numbers is a great increase in efficiency. I don't have to click in the timeline, hit F6 for a keyframe, click over into my property panel, change a number, hit return for that to take effect, and keep repeating that process. Now I can scrub the timeline, and if I can guess what's on the waveform, I can just keep hitting the different keyframes that I want. It automatically puts them in, and I can't even scrub up and down my frames here. And we can see it even has the ability to, you can listen to it, and it will advance to the next keyframe. So it's a pretty sweet tool that greatly increases your efficiency for doing lip syncing.